What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy Enlightened Luciferian Prince coming at y'all once again. Welcome, people. I know I've been burning up the airwaves the past few days, and I'm pretty all right with doing the job that I'm doing. Traffic's a little slow around this time of year, so I'm using my current time as I have availability around this time of year to just go ahead and put my nose to the grindstone and keep these videos rolling. Because I'm telling you, people, I know that everybody has a variance in time about certain things about the new year and whatever, and that's quite all right. But let me not get ahead of myself. If you're watching this video around children, please remove them from your immediate vicinity, as my videos are not for children. If you are also an individual who is a subscriber to my channel, please check on your notification button tab when you subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell. Hit it a few times so you actually get the notice that my videos are being posted. A lot of people are telling me that YouTube, for particular reasons, are unsubscribing them. I cannot unsubscribe you. I have no control over that mechanism behind that. All I do is post, and it loads to the algorithm, and that's it. But a lot of people are saying that have been subscribed to me for years are saying that they're not receiving notifications. That is not my doing. When you subscribe, I can't unsubscribe you. Only entity that can do anything if you abuse community guidelines, you say hateful speech and so forth, is YouTube. I have no control over that. All I do is post. That's it. So hit that notification if you subscribe. Email me, contact me personally. Do whatever you have to do within your due diligence to reach out to me. It is what it is. But fine, so be it. I'm also on TikTok. I'm also on Lemon 8. I'll leave that there too in the video description, because going back to what I was saying about the New Year's, I think a lot of people really need to start getting their stuff into gear. Because what I do realize as I've been doing this for years is that a lot of people, particularly they sit and watch videos, but they don't get proactive. Not only that, the people who are dispensing the knowledge aren't really giving it to people, which is understandable in a censorship-controlled environment, i.e. the internet. Now, we don't have access to too many private platforms, which is why I also offer consultation, personal advice of things that I otherwise would not say. It's not that I could not, I would not say, because I also understand that there are a lot of grifters, people who take information and then they charge y'all all this fiat and you get no result. On my channel that I've done for years, the only examples I use are the things that I do in my personal life and that work for me. I don't go by what such and such said. I don't go by what such and such said. I do not go by any of that. I go by, and I said it before and I say it again for those who are new, I go by what it says and I operate in that capacity, nothing else. My conjecture, my beliefs, my opinionations, my ideologies don't matter. The only way I've gotten results is going by what it says. And it worked for me every time. No problems, no charges, no debts, no nothing. I'm free as a bird. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people that you have to work at this, because if you work at it, a lot of people are afraid to fail. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Some of the best race car drivers crash first. You know what I'm saying? You think Lance Armstrong ain't fall off a bike before he started doing Tour de France, before he got eliminated? But you know what I'm saying? You're going to fail. I mean, because you have to understand that you're coming into a new realm of knowledge that otherwise was not predisposed to society. I try to tell people all the time, what I teach about on my channel in regards to this knowledge is something you should have never known about in the first place. But I come as a humble servant in regards to your knowledge and your edification in this knowledge, that as exponential as it is and never ending, it shall be. But I give it to you in the most simplest terms, and I know that it can be encumbering for a lot of people who are just used to dealing with the indoctrinated social structure of things, okay? Where people are basically saying, okay, well, they said it. The system said we have to. The system said we have to. Well, I am the curse reverser, okay? I'm showing you, screw that, fuck what they saying, because the only reason why they're telling you to do it their way is because they're receiving a benefit. But I'm the curse reverser. Let me cook. Right. Now, the title of this video is the 1099 and how it benefits you. That is the title of this video. 1099 and how does it benefit you? Now, a lot of people don't understand that everything we do in commerce is a tax matter. It's just that the underlying subsection of society, i.e. the population, do not understand taxes. The only thing that people are understood as far as the overall generalization of society understands is that you have to pay taxes. No, you don't. Now, I'm going to say this in a strict sense of what the law says and not my conjecture, not my opinion. The IRS itself cannot find one law, statute, code, rule, regulation, or procedure that says you have to pay taxes. Even the Internal Revenue Code itself, if you do your research, says that taxes are voluntary. Simple. Voluntary eliminates the idealism that compulsion was involved in you actually dealing with taxes. You see what I'm saying? So if they tell you on your own behest, go fill out a 1040. Yeah, sure, we'll give you a return. All you're doing is adding to the fractional reserve banking and keeping the system in deficit. The thing that a lot of people don't understand about this redemption process is that your objective and your job is to minimize the debt. That is it. You are not here to keep the debt going. You know what I'm saying? Even in New York City itself, the financial capital of this Western world, has displayed in Times Square the national debt. Runs up like a motherfucker. Every hour, every minute, every millisecond, every nanosecond of your existence is running up. But do you know what the national debt is? It's people who are not claiming what they're lending. See, the government corporation knows that the only way that they can subsist is by taxation, which is voluntary. So if you voluntarily pay taxes, you're saying that you have a general partnership and you are responsible for the liabilities and the bankruptcy of the United States corporation. That's what you're saying. But are you really saying that out loud? No. You're saying it in a subsistent state to say on paper, which is substance, transient, which is subsistent. You're transferring your substance on paper and saying, hey, yeah, I contribute to paying for that, but it's never paid. For everyone that understands what I'm saying, the more taxes you pay, then the debt should not continuously accrue. It should be minimizing. But I just taught you a very significant truth in less than 9 minutes. The reason why the 1099 is not a widely discussed instance on this channel or these platforms or these airwaves all the way the world over is because the moment you figure it out, you'll start using these forms correctly. See, everybody wants to talk about, oh, I want to contact the IRS to get money. No. Listen to the phraseology of the title of this quasi-government corporation, i.e. via contract with the United States Treasury. Department of Revenue. Now, let's take the word revenue. Put a hyphen between the R and the E, and then look up venue. Venue. Legal terminology is very simple. Now, we already know what the suffix re means, to repeat or redo, right? Now let's look up. Check this out. For those people who understand, and yes, this does not constitute legal advice, as I will leave in the video description. This is just going by what the motherfucking law said. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Because you have to understand that there are a lot of tricks in words. A lot of tricks in the legal definition. Not to mention, all the tax forms that you ever filled out in your entire life are actually crafted by attorneys. In law, Venue is the location where a legal case is heard or the county or where a case is filed. It's important to have the right venue for trial. This is in regards to jurisdiction. It also applies to real estate law. It also, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand that it also applies to civil cases, so forth and so on. But if there's no proper venue in the U.S., the court may dismiss the case under doctrine of forum non-convenience, right? Which means Latin for no formal convenient forum or venue. When you really break this down, when you fill out a tax form, it says the Department of the Treasury. It says Internal Revenue Service. That is letting you know that that's the nexus between the IRS and the Department of Revenue, right? But revenue, which means a venue is a location, a situs, as they say in Latin, situs, which means site. And basically what they're doing is they're taking you on your word and revenuing your gains, nets, profit, and everything that you gain from your labor. Now, a lot of people will say, well, taxation is legal. Well, look at the 16th Amendment. Well, in 1913, very convenient year, the 16th Amendment was never properly ratified. Never. So you do your homework. Don't take my word for it. It was never properly ratified, even though it talks about taxation. But the taxation it's talking about has to do with dues, duties, and imposts. That has to do with ships, dockyards. That's all the revenue that is necessary to run this corporation called America. But because we got such greedy fuckers that like to hide in the shadows, they just can't get enough. Well, as a soldier in Christ, I'm going to be the one to tell you straight up. That's bullshit. Because when you realize it's only under deceptive and misleading connotations that you've been presented this in your life, then yeah, that's not right. You know what I'm saying? It's not right. Why are you being charged interest on your own labor? I mean, let's really just, let's sum it all up. Let's just get real with this. You're being charged interest on your own labor, your sweat equity, your human capital that turns you into human capital. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. But at the same token, let's cook. When you look at it for what it's worth, the 1099 is your remedy in commerce. It's your remedy in commerce. Prime example. Let's go back to fractional reserve banking. Those who don't believe me don't have to. Those who do believe me, take notes. Agents, shut the fuck up. But at the same token, let's look at it. When you open up a bank account, they tell you, oh, you have to put a deposit into the account. Here's the thing. Pay attention to the phraseology and the words that I'm using in regards to this commercial terms. Deposit, look it up. Legal definition. Anyone that got a Black's Law Dictionary, look these definitions up very carefully. They say you have to make a deposit into an account, right? Do you know that for every dollar you give a bank, credit union, or other third party, for every dollar you give them, they get 100. For every 1,000 you give your bank, they get 10. Ad infinitum. $2, 200. You know what I'm saying? 2,000, 20,000. Real talk. And a lot of people will not believe me when I say this, but every year your financial institution fills out a 1099-A on you, and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. You're considered a contractor because, again, in order to open up a bank account, you have to sign a contract. It all starts with contractual law. So every deposit that has ever been entered into your account, you're actually owed money back on, but you didn't even know it. They fill out a 1099-A on you every fucking year. Y'all can talk about, oh, I've been in my credit union for 20 years. You bragging? That's 20 years of back pay your ass ain't get. And who better to give you an exact accounting of what was entered into your account than the bank its fucking self? Simple. However, there's going to be some people, there's going to be 3 types of people who are going to be here. How do I get it back? I already know that's the first. It's all right. Be patient. B, who do I send the information to? It's C. Most people don't even know how to fill out a 1099. But they fill out a 1099-A on you. And you don't even know it. But do they have to tell you this? No, because your bank account that you so proudly boast and brag about is subject to Title 26. So they don't have to tell you. They don't have to tell you about filling out a 1099 on your behalf. They don't have to, because when you signed that contract, you subjected that account to Title 26. You definitely did it. You definitely did it. So they don't have to tell you. They don't have to give you full disclosure. It's because here's the kicker. The 1099A is all about acquisition or abandonment of secured property. So you secured the account, but you abandoned it because you didn't file a 1099B on your own behalf. So they consider these are acquisitions and you abandoned them because you didn't file. Now, Form 1099 is each borrower you lend money in connection with your trade or business. Now follow me where I'm going with this. And in full or partial satisfaction of the debt, you acquire an interest in property that is security for the debt, or you have reason to know that the property has been abandoned. So the bank, upon the presumption that they know that majority of their customers are never going to file a 1099A on behalf of the property so declared to be abandoned, the bank says you need not be in the business of lending money to be subject to this reporting requirement. It's from the IRS website. What you're supposed to be filing every year with a nice cover letter sent to your branch, whatever you bank with, whatever credit union you bank with, and ad infinitum, is a 1099B. Right? Now, proceeds from broker and barter. A broker or barter exchange must file this form for each person for whom they sold stocks, commodities, regulated fixtures, contracts, foreign currency contracts, forward contracts, debt instruments, i.e. checks, options, securities, future contracts, etc. for cash. Who received cash, stock, or other property from a corporation that the broker known or has reason to know has had stock acquired in acquisition of control or has a substantial change in capital structure reportable on Form 8806, or who has exchanged property or services through a barter exchange, which is your fucking bank. Okay? So within regards to this, it is your responsibility to write to your bank and to tell them expressly, according to these laws, that you do not give them power of attorney over your tax matters. What you have to do is you have to fill out a power of attorney form. You know what I'm saying? You have to send that in to them, but you also have to send it into the IRS as well. Because if you do not send that into the IRS before they fill out the 1099, they already have assumed power of attorney over you. This is what a lot of people aren't telling you. You know what I'm saying? They aren't telling you this. And I'm going to be the one to say it. You have to remove power of attorney from your bank because they have your trust association information. And as you have given them all the necessary information they need, the IRS takes your banking institution on its word and it receives their proceeds from you because it's considered abandoned, and the bank earns stock from your ass not getting nothing but having a positive account balance that your own fiat sustains. So, you know what I'm saying? You have to do this stuff. You have to understand that I'm not just sitting here just telling you this stuff just to be on some bullshit. It's called the Form 2848, Power of Attorney and Declaration of Representative. You have to file this with the IRS as soon as possible. You understand the urgency of my voice? You have to do this because we are coming up on a taxable year. December 31st at 11:59:59, it's a wrap. A second over that, it's over with. You have to beat these people to the finish line. I said this before in my previous video. You have to be first, not last. 2848. To authorize an individual to represent you before the IRS, which should be you. You authorize must be a person eligible to practice before the IRS, which is you, the natural person. You may authorize a student who works in a qualified low-income taxpayer clinic or student taxpayer. This is if you want a third-party representative to represent you, but we going to skip past that. We're talking about you doing it for you. Your authorization of a qualified representative will also allow the individual to receive and inspect your personal tax information. So why the fuck would I want some third party receiving and inspecting my own personal information? That doesn't make sense if I'm a competent adult. You can file Form 2848 Power of Attorney and Declaration of Representative if the IRS begins a foreign bank and financial accounts, which is called the FBAR, examination as a result as a tax income examination. Please see representation for FBAR issues. Well, we don't have to go into that because we're talking about you representing yourself. That's a totally different story if you're using a third party. So what you're supposed to do is first send this documentation into the IRS. You send the power of attorney, you state why you're sending the power of attorney, and you're telling them you do not want this financial institution, put it in all caps, whether it's Capital One, whether it's Chase, whether it's JP Morgan, it doesn't matter. You're just saying, I do not want these individuals receiving any proceeds from your account number, and in regards to the use of the social, also known as the TIN, ITIN, Social Security number, or FEIN. All the same. They're all tax identifying numbers. You would say you would like the proceeds proceeded to the trust, which is the EIN number that some of us are supposed to have already, and you would like the proceeds to be directly sent to you, the representative. See attached. So once you put all of that into the letter, from that day forward, if that entity decides to overreach its boundaries, because you're going to copy claim the bank institution as well with the IRS. So once that's established, there should be no miscommunication between your financial institution and the IRS, because they're like, well, he has or she has power of attorney. We can't talk to y'all. Y'all need to contact him or her. We're not releasing shit to y'all because they made it plainly clear that they don't want y'all acting as their beneficiary. And that's in less than 23 minutes. Regarding the bank. Now, the reason why I tell people I don't register my vehicle, right? Is because of one thing. It's all a tax matter. Registration is a tax matter. Now, what you're doing when you pay for registration is you're taking the burden off the state. The state declares when you register your vehicle, right? Let's look up the word register. Okay? Follow me. Follow me. I'm going to learn you. I'm going to learn you. Let's look up registration. Oh, I ain't got to do that. I already got it in my notebook. My handy dandy notebook. Registration. It's coming from Black's Law Dictionary. Simple as that. It's at the bottom of my cover letter that I sent to the Department of Driver Services. It says at the bottom of the letter, it says registration to be officially recorded or listed. Registration refers to the process of officially recording or listing your business with the appropriate authorities. Black's Law Dictionary, 6th edition. Now, when you register your vehicle, you're surrendering your property to the state. So now the state assumes jurisdiction over the property, i.e. the asset, i.e. the vehicle, and then they make you pay taxes on it. Wait a minute. If you are the owner, shouldn't your ass be paying for it? Now, if you purchase a new vehicle, never register it within the first year. Never register it within that year. You know why? Because they already have assumed jurisdiction. You let it expire. Once you let it expire, that means that they have no claim. So all they can do is cite you for expired tax, because they're still trying to say that your vehicle, according to 1099A, is abandoned. It's lost at sea. Good. Because if I do register it, that means if I do register it, you are the liable party for all the taxes involved with it. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Why would you register your vehicle and pay annual fees for something that they declared by public record they own? So if you get your oil changed, you get your tires rotated, you do all this shit for the vehicle, that's a bill you send to these fuckers called the state agency, i.e. registration department. But y'all didn't know that though, did y'all? Because by the tax matter, and they're having vehicle taxes, and they give you these printed statements at the dealership, you get your car, you already have the receipt for what the state owes you. Because when you purchase your vehicle, anything that accrues from that point forward, underneath that contract, if they saying you owe arrears, then you send them the bill. And you pay it. And you send it to the Secretary of State. I don't pay no motherfucking registration on something I bought. When does the state become a party to the contract of the original finance agreement? They never were. That was surrendered on behalf of the third party, i.e. the dealership. I didn't give it to you. They did. That's why they let you have a limited, in hopes that you will pick up the balance. Fuck you. So what y'all need to start doing is filing a 1099-B with these apartments that y'all have been basically paying these fees for. And if they don't wish to oblige, then don't fucking register your vehicle. The only way you're supposed to oblige is saying, I'm willing to register if you're willing to pick up the fucking slack for something you say you own. How do you demand that a person say, you own this vehicle, but you got to pay taxes for what I owe? Get the fuck out of here. Get the motherfuck out my face. You're telling me that I have to register a vehicle, pay fees, pay all this shit, pay for gas tax, pay for all this shit, and you saying you own it. So if you're saying you own it, why don't you pay it? Because again, it all goes back to the heart of the recorder of the record, which is the Secretary of State. Now, if you're a secure party creditor, they damn sure don't want to dance. Because now you have a staked interest, a superior security interest in your property via security agreement. So what you would do is draft up a nice cover letter to the Secretary of State in regards to these transactions and tell them, hey, we have a discrepancy here. Since you are the public holder of record for the state, I need for you to do me one thing. Discharge the balance of the registration for the VIN number according to your vehicle and the date in which it was purchased. You send them a copy of all that. And then you also send them a copy of the financing contract and say, last time I checked, your signature is not on here to make yourself a party acceptable for fees, fines, and associations due with the ownership of this vehicle. Failure to comply will result in a civil suit for breach of office of public trust. That's in less than 28 minutes. Now, I know a lot of people in the world be like, well, I don't give a fuck about this corporation's feelings because they don't give a fuck about yours. They don't. And me, myself, I am a tax-exempt individual. I don't pay taxes to a motherfucking thing because Caesar ain't my God. Let's get that shit straight. I don't pay taxes to nobody. I hate when the stores do that shit. They just take it to 5 cents. Who told you to take the shit? But can't complain because if I ain't want to pay taxes to them for the groceries, then I ain't had to walk in the door. It's tricks and traps. You got written contracts and you got also hidden contracts. You know what I'm saying? You got written contracts, you got hidden contracts. But that's why I tell people, keep your documentation on deck. You see, this is called emergency. Case of emergency, they say break glass. Well, me, in case of emergency, I'll bust your ass. Simple as that. My Form 56, notice of fiduciary, concerning fiduciary relationship, that goes to the Treasury. Anything associated with any taxation goes to the Treasury. I'm not accepting that liability. Fuck you. Here's my highway use tax exemption certificate. Yeah, fuck you. Exempt from tax. Notarized date stamp for me and my wife. I did full exemption. They said if you do partial, it's $40, but I don't pay shit. Fuck you. Kiss my ass. Here's my streamlined sales and use tax agreement certificate of exemption. Officer can't argue with that shit because that's a requirement for registration. But if it says it's a supplemental form and it's not a business, directly on the form it gives you type of business. It's not a business. They give you that option. I ain't doing commerce, so fuck you, bitch. So it says also the reason for exemption, they give you other. 1041 filer, non-tax paying estate held in trust by the principal, and I am the owner of the property. So All of this is real paperwork, people. They're not telling y'all this because, again, they want y'all to give fiat. This information ain't mine. I didn't copyright this shit. The only thing you gonna ever pay me for is my motherfucking time. And I hate to be blunt about that, but I'm just being real because my time is valuable. And we don't understand that we can lose so much because we think that we just got all the time in the world. No, you don't. That's why I said get on this stuff ASAP, and that's in less than 31 minutes. So you just learned 3 significant truths in a half an hour. Now, since you learned that in a half an hour, and some people may have to play this video again, some people may have to contact me. That's fine. But just understand it's serious inquiries only, because this is not a game. The only way you're going to make this work for you is if you follow it according to what it says. Fuck what a guru say online. These people talk about join my class. I ain't got time for all that shit. That's a million different personalities I'm going to try to have to satisfy. I can't do that. That is physically, humanly impossible. For anyone that think that they can please and satisfy everybody and get the same results, you're a fucking fool. And you people that's out there on these airways telling these people that y'all can help them guaranteed, start showing receipts. And this is one thing for you people that's out there that subscribe to my channel. Real talk, I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to play no game. Telling people show results. Show some videos where they got some results. I just showed you my motherfucking black and white. No cap. Hashtag no cap. But a lot of y'all get on these people's channel and stuff, and I ain't saying no names. I ain't got nothing against nobody. I'm just keeping it real. Test all spirits. Discern all spirits. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all be getting on these people's channel and be scam likely. Listen, I'm not a hard person to reach. Many people know me over the years. If you got my personal number, I called you, I emailed you, whatever. I am not a hard person to reach. If you call my phone, I don't answer. Maybe I'm probably on the toilet or something. I don't know. Maybe I just doing something. I have a life too. What'd you say, babe? Your phone be in your hand then. It depends. She always act like I always have my phone in my hand. Like, so I take a shower with my phone? Yeah, that's private time. I ain't answering no phone on talk. Anyway, my wife. Anywho, busy. Got things going on in my life. But irrespective of anything, the truth be told, people, I just gave you the groundwork. If you want to email me, schedule a consultation. I cleaned out my inbox. It is clean, 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 clean. So if you do email me, I will leave one of my lesser known email addresses because for some odd reason, email traffic been slowing up, whatever. It's fine. It is what it is. The divine most high is always going to see a way. So let the enemy stay busy. I'll punch that bitch in his mouth. I'm just saying. But I do it the legal way. Simple as that. And if they hate on it and so forth, that just lets you know, hey man, I'm doing the work of the Most High. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Because everybody that is conscientious, that doesn't deserve to be exploited and mistreated and used by a system that don't give a fuck about even its own, damn sure don't care about you. So the only person who can actually be responsible for actually asserting themselves in the proper way is you. The choice is yours alone. But it is what it is. I'll leave all my information in the video description and the comment section. And as I said before, stand by because great things are coming. I know it. And just stand by. Great things are coming. You'll be surprised at what you'll see in the coming year. Stay prepared. Stay vigilant. Be sober. For your enemy goes about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. So stay vigilant, especially these trying times. But always walk in the spirit of faith. And just understand that no matter what weapon is formed against you, will never prosper if you believe in the Most High. Simple as that. Simple as that. Fall out of the world and fall into the fruits of the Spirit. Everything gonna work out for you. I'm a living testimony. Living. All bones intact. You know what I'm saying? I tripped, stumbled in the past, but you know what? You got to go through the fire. See, it's cool to get baptized in public, but there's that private baptism. Baptism by fire. But nobody can see it but you. Nobody can endure it but you. Simple as that. Unless a man be baptized by fire, can't know your worth. Simple as that. So for all my subscribers, y'all enjoy. Those who do celebrate, I don't. But those who do, enjoy the time you have. Life is short because you never know this time next year. The person you might be celebrating with today or tomorrow might not be there next year. Who's to say we are guaranteed to be in next year? All we can do is utilize the time we have for the best purposes that we have and make an impact on the world and make the world that we know that we wish to live in a better place. Because as you see, the systematic control is just running on autopilot. It careth not. So with that being said, peace, light, love. I'll see y'all soon on my next uploads. Stay tuned. Love y'all. Take care.